All right, here with Spencer Lee, the eve of your match against Ono. Before we get into the preparation, just what's your overall excitement level to compete again in Iowa?
Oh, well, it's been a little while since I've competed in Iowa City, so, well, it's Coralville, but close enough. It's pretty dang close.
Yeah,
You can
it's the
almost,
same
you
thing.
can almost see the arena from here, right? But it's exciting. I just hope that it's a good turnout. Hope people really enjoy it. Hope the event goes really well. Hope it runs smoothly. Hope it just, all positive. That's what I want, really. So.
Yeah. This is a unique sort of competitive experience for you. Really, I mean, there's dual meets, but for the majority of your career, you haven't had a long period of time to focus on one opponent. How different has that been for you? Have you liked that, just kind of keying in on, what Ono does or doesn't do or preparation?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't change much for me, really. I'm not like a huge scouting guy. I'm not like a huge, focusing too much on what they do. I mean, yeah, obviously he's very skilled and he does things that people obviously never really seen someone do at such a high level. So, but there's a lot of film on me out there too. So I'm sure everyone scouts in their own way, right? So for me, it's just mostly getting to where I want to be. Not getting to where he's good and just wrestling hard for 6 minutes. So.
Yeah, you since I've known you, you've talked a lot about your time watching international wrestling. So would you say you watch it more from a fan perspective than scouting, or what is your approach when you're watching international?
No, I definitely watch more as a fan. I just like good wrestling. I like watching people compete hard. I like watching good exchanges and high scoring, high flying matches. I was never and then obviously you take some. If you really like something, you can obviously rewatch it and try and learn from it, and then you can add it to your own repertoire. But I'm not like a scout everyone, look at things. I just never been me. Not really like that. I don't know. Maybe that's a negative in my game. I don't really know, but I just like focusing on myself, and I like knowing where they're good. I like knowing where I shouldn't, consistently maybe go to get in trouble. But I'm not gonna change how I wrestle or how I want to approach a match just because of someone's skill set, regardless of who they are. So
Yeah. Is there an experience you had where you thought too much about one thing or what one guy did and it had a negative impact?
yeah, absolutely. I mean, I definitely was overthinking in the Olympic finals. I mean, I was worried about him dragging me off of a bad shot or something because he's really good there, and I think that definitely made it so that I didn't really do anything offensively, really. So, and I think when you overthink like that, then you slow down, and if you're thinking in a match, you're not wrestling very well. So I think a lot of that attributes to that as well. So
A lot is made of Ono's style and your style, and he likes to work snaps off overcallers and inside and wrists. You're a guy that wants to get your hands on the wrestler and move him around. You're really dominant in ties. How do you see that kind of overlap of your strength and his strength playing out?
Well, I mean, I think there has to be a lot of action on my end. I can't hang on him. I can't just stand in front of him slowly. I mean, if I do that, he'll probably just run me over, and it might not be a very close match. So I just gotta be smart. I gotta move my feet a lot. I gotta get to my own offense, and I gotta put him on the defensive, and not over chase or be in bad position, and just go out there and wrestle. Hopefully, it's just a hard fought 6-minute match. So.
Yeah. Two dynamic. It's pretty rare to get two dynamic neutral wrestlers, but both with insane parterre offense. You have lace and gut. He's more of a gut wrench guy. Have you put any added emphasis on parterre defense, given his strength in that position?
Well, we always do. I mean, when you're just a parterre guy, you really want to be proficient in both top and bottom, because sometimes you get in trouble turning a guy and they could step over you, and then they get on top, or you get taken down quick, and you just gotta be ready to go. So I mean, we work a lot on parterre bottom and in the room. So he's got a really unique turn.
Yeah.
He's really explosive, and he turned everybody. So obviously we definitely put some emphasis on working on not getting turned. Obviously the goal would be not to get taken down, so you don't get turned. But if you do get taken down, which is probably likely against someone like that, it's very possible that he could take you down even multiple times. You just gotta not give up takedown and turn. That's a good way to get the match ended pretty quick. Getting a couple takedowns is okay as long as you're scoring as well. That makes the match really high scoring, but it could also still stay close. But if you're getting taken down and turned every time, you get taken down twice and then turn, it's 8-0, right? So pretty quick way to get off the mat. So
Yeah. When's the last time you were gut wrenched or turned in parterre? I was kind of thinking back.
I don't think I've been turned.
Yeah, I don't either.
Internationally yet, but I have been stepped over. I've been reversed. I've been rolled through. I've been exposed. So similar, similar things to being turned, but no, I haven't been like straight up turned. But I also haven't competed that much, so the amount of times that I had an opportunity to get turned is not very high. So.
Well, soon you're gonna have to stop saying that because you've been very, very active. You had a really active last year.
We're going into my second year senior level. This is what I'm so. It's not like I've been wrestling senior level since I was 18 years old, like some of the people have.
Yeah.
You know, because some people have been competing my age, but they've been competing since they're 18, right? So.
Sure.
Yeah. So once I get into more tournaments, more longer into my career, then I can stop saying that.
Yeah.
I'm getting there though.
I feel like a lot of our interviews, it's like me providing that you downgrade your achievements and your accomplishments so much. I have to bring a little balance there.
Yeah, well, high expectations on myself.
Absolutely. Are there any comparisons that you can draw? I mean, Ray and Ono obviously both Japanese, but beyond that, are there any technical comparisons you can draw from them?
No, not really. They're pretty opposite, honestly. I mean, Ono's like, explosive to a corner, and Ray's really just looking for that single leg, and then he's countering to like a drag, and Ray's like more of a leg lace guy on top, and then Ono's gut. I mean, they're pretty much opposites. So I'm sure they've trained and wrestled before, and I'm sure that would be an interesting match. So
Yeah. We talked about your number of competitions has increased. What did you take away from the two tournaments you did in pretty close succession there this year? What were your main takeaways from that performance?
Oh, well, just sometimes, no matter how you feel, you got to go out there and you got to wrestle. And I think that it was good experience for me to be in Croatia, because that's where the World Championships are going to be. So that was cool. Getting to see maybe a preview if I make the team this year, to see where I'm at. And I think that was good. I think France is good just because, it was like getting back into the scene again for the first time since the Olympics. So I think those are kind of like the reasons why we were doing both those things. So.
What were your impressions of Croatia?
It's nice. Croatia's a pretty place. I wish I had more time to look around, maybe after Worlds this year. If I make the team, then I will get to look around after that. But it's kind of how we are. We're kind of in and out. That's kind of how we work. Us Hawk Wrestling guys, we go somewhere where our flight was we left the hotel at 4:30 a.m. the next day. I got home at 9:30 from the tournament. We were in and out, so that's kind of how we work. No point in staying there, right? I mean,
sure.
Well, why not get home? So.
Yeah, absolutely.
We had a dual meet to watch too. It was Nebraska.
Oh, that was a big one.
We were there, so I was there. So
that was fun.
Yep.
You wrestled Roman Bravo Young in Zagreb. What was your takeaways from that match? You two have kind of been, it was a dream match for years. You were the man at 25. He was kind of holding down 33. How much had you thought about wrestling Roman up until that point?
Honestly, I never thought we'd ever wrestle. I didn't know if he would keep competing after the Olympics, and I didn't know if he'd be at 57 still. So it just happened to have the matchup happen. He's very athletic. He's very fast. He's very good. So I'm sure we'll wrestle more in the future. So.
Did you have any takeaways from that? Anything he do surprise you?
He's just quick. He's very, very quick. I think that's something that we all kind of knew about him. So, very, very fast to the corner, and he'll catch you off guard if you're not moving your feet. So. Yeah.
You mentioned being back at the dual meet for Nebraska, and you were obviously there this weekend for the Iowa-Oklahoma State duel. The Angelo win over Plott, that moment, how does that compare? You've been around for a lot of big Carver moments. How does that moment, as a spectator, kind of compare to some of the other bigger ones in Carver history?
Oh, I mean, I definitely think it was pretty loud in there. I mean, the loudest I've probably ever heard it was Kemmer beating Mark Hall, and then maybe Tony securing the duel the one year. The loudest I ever heard as a fan was the Iowa Penn State duel as well. It was, I think, Ramos pinned Conaway.
Yeah.
In a cow catcher or whatever you call it, right? So that was super loud. I mean, it was deafening. I remember being in the stands like 8th grade, wow, that was loud. So those are the moments I vaguely remember in Carver. So, and Angelo's just definitely up there. I mean, he definitely he got up there and he did what he had to do. He did his job. So.
Was there any surprise on your part that he was able to go out and do what he did?
Not really. I mean, I've been watching him train. I mean, he lives and breathes training. I mean, he loves wrestling. He wrestles more than anybody.
Really?
On the team. He just loves wrestling. I mean, he just loves it. And he works hard. He does things right. he stretches all the time. You see his flexibility. I mean, he lifts hard, lives a good lifestyle. I mean, he's a very, very awesome teammate to have. I mean, we love Ferrari. He's great.
Yeah, I'm sure. That was a crazy moment. Look at some of my other questions here. You're gonna be wrestling on this card with your teammate and friend Austin DeSanto. What have you seen from Austin in the last couple months, and how excited are you to watch him compete against Seth?
Well, he was doing a little bit of Greco, so working on that, just like up in his game. So it's interesting. And now he's back into the freestyle mode, and so I'm just excited to watch him go out and do what he's been doing for a long time, and that's be super offensive and get to guys' legs and finish hard and run at guys at the pace that he wrestles at. So I'm just excited that he's on a card with me. We've been training together and getting ready for this together. So that's been kind of fun. So it's been a little bit since we've done that. So.
A lot has been made of you two, of course, over the years, and what's often brought up is how you benefit him. But how does Austin benefit you in your training, and how does it help you to have him as a partner?
Well, I mean, he's a guy you gotta get up for every time you wrestle. I mean, you gotta be ready to go. He's super high paced. He's a hard hand fighter. He shoots a lot. You just gotta. I mean, if you're not ready to go and you don't stay in there, he's gonna run you off the mat. It's gonna be a very, very bad practice for you. So he's someone that I go with a lot. Obviously, it's easier to go with him more just because we're freestyle guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
We want to do more freestyle sometimes than folk style, right? But he's also just a great partner in general. He keeps me accountable. For getting ready, for staying healthy, like doing things to stay healthy. Because if you're not feeling good wrestling that kid, you're gonna get like beat up, and he knows it, and he doesn't take that as any offense. He just knows it. His pressure is unbelievable. He's gonna make you, go backwards and fall and get run over. Really, I mean, he's a machine, man. So he definitely holds me accountable, and I have to be ready to go, and I gotta train right. So if I do train with that kid, I gotta be ready to go and stay ready and feel good,
I was watching, Tyler had some footage of him training with Odaguru Kaisuke, and it looked like he wore him out, and that's an extremely high level.
That's how he is, man.
Yeah.
He's a very, very high pace, and you got to be ready to go, and I think Keisuke was more looking for, like, a drill, and he's never going to, back down or anything. I mean, these guys are awesome, they train so hard. I mean, but he's retired, he's not training, he's like a coach, and he got put through the ringer, so that was pretty cool.
That was cool. That's some good footage. I can't wait for people to see that. As you continue to evolve, improvement and evolution is kind of the name of the game at this level of wrestling. What have you identified? Maybe you don't have to go into specifics, but as you kind of assess yourself, what are the areas you're like, all right, if I want to get to the next rung, I need to do X, Y, or Z. What are those things for Spencer Lee?
I mean, I feel like I just got to push the pace more. I think I'm too slow a lot of times. So
Slow as in you move slowly, or you're too slow starting?
both.
Okay.
Probably both. I think those go hand in hand. I think sometimes I let the pace get slowed down too much, or there's like one explosion that just really slows down or something. And you just gotta keep on the guy and keep yourself accountable, and just know that the match is gonna end, and you gotta do everything you can within that time frame to score points. So constantly improve position.
Is it the international feel that kind of maybe lulls you a little bit compared to folk style?
Yeah, for sure. Because folk style guys, they kind of just run at you the whole time, and there's just so much more constant wrestling in folk style. Like I'll find myself wrestling like Drake, and we'll be scrambling, rolling across. He's rolling across the back, and I'm always and then my legs in the air, and it's I can't roll because I'm freestyle,
Yeah.
But, so it's you gotta sprawl, and then you gotta turn, and it's just that's just how it is. You gotta be able to adapt and wrestle, and I think that it's just constant wrestling, and it's definitely more tiring than freestyle. Freestyle, I pick your leg up and they walk you out. You can just hop out and walk to the center,
Right.
shake your arms out, and then they blow the whistle, and you could circle for 5 seconds and then grab the guy, and no one's gonna say anything. And folks tell they shake hands, and the guy's already shooting on you almost, or you're wrestling all the way until you're out of bounds.
Yeah.
And and then the coach is run in the middle, and then you got to step on the line. It's freestyle, just lull and you could walk around him and step anywhere you want, back up, stand up, look at the ref. You can lull.
There's a lot of antics.
Yeah, you can do a bunch. I mean, you've seen guys do it.
Yeah.
Or they look at the ref and they start talking, and the ref's looking at them what do you want? And then then they go and then they go up again. You can do stuff like that. For folk style, they'd be caution or stalling.
Yeah.
So definitely a different style for sure.
Yeah.
But you gotta be ready for the guys are gonna game it, and you gotta be ready. So.
The Musakayev playbook.
Oh
as it
yeah,
were.
yeah. He's my favorite.
Yeah, he's fun. He's a lot of fun. How much more confidence do you have in your gas tank now than maybe you did previously when you were sort of limited a little bit in your training?
No, I mean I feel good. I mean it's like I said, I haven't really felt too many troubles in the past tournaments I've had, and I think that's great. I just gotta keep working on it. I gotta keep believing in myself, and I think keeping a match fast, keeping my feet fast, and moving forward fast is gonna help that cardio as well. Just because like when you're constant moving, you know, you're able to kind of keep going. But when you slow down, stop, like, you know, then you start thinking, and you don't want to think. You just gotta do, you know.
Yeah. We talked to Jason Nolf. I don't know if you heard any of his thoughts on the match, but he thinks you're gonna win. He thinks you'll
A little biased, but I do
well, a
appreciate
little,
it.
but yeah, but it's crazy. He gets into a ton of detail about his sort of rationale why. Is it odd that it feels like both you guys are match enders and both of you guys are so good? Like, even though you could have a competitive match, is it in the back of your mind like this could be a tech for me, or maybe if things go bad, it could go the other way? Is that sort of an odd dynamic? Because there's no folk style match you wrestle where it's like, well, Spencer could tech him, but this guy could tech Spencer. Like,
Well,
that would
it's
never
folk
happen.
style though,
Yeah.
like, especially in 2-point takedowns, and
Yeah.
you know, just like way harder to get a tech fall. I mean, you know, 3 takedowns in college when I wrestled.
Yeah.
Obviously, I sound old, but the year before, right? The
I
year
know.
before they changed the rule. To be 6'2" or 6'3", right, rather than 9'2", right? It's a humongous difference. Like,
Yes.
Like crazy, right? So, but yeah, that's just how it is. That's for you have that fear every match with freestyle. Like if you give up something stupid, like a lace, and you just get teched.
Yeah.
Like you gotta be smart. You can't give that up. So, yeah, I mean, it's cool though. I mean, it's fun knowing that someone's that dynamic out there. You know,
Yeah, absolutely.
big world.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, I always appreciate your time, Spencer. It's been awesome. We're so excited. Do you get a sense of the buzz or in the area? Because I mean, I'm at the Texas Youth Wrestling Tournament. People are coming to me, Leo Ono, who you got? Like that doesn't happen very, very often to me about a particular match. Do you sense that as well?
Somewhat, yeah. And I'm glad that you know people are excited about it, and that's kind of why I wanted to do it. I want it to be something fun for everybody, and obviously I want to challenge myself. And you know, I've met him before, so and you know he seemed pretty cool. Wanted to wrestle me too, so I think that's pretty cool. So.
Awesome. Well, do you have anything else, Spencer, before we let you get back to your day?
Yeah, I look forward to having. Hopefully, it's a fun event, fun tournament, runs well, and everyone has a good time. So,
Thanks, Spencer.
yeah, thank you.